naked on a shoreline of the sea. I got up and I looked around me, Captain Ship could not be found. I guess me heart he took around, forgot all about me. But that's okay, I guess it's fair. I did forget the captain's chair, but I still got some from them to keep me company. But even if the scallywags come back to save me soul, we'll drink the ocean dry and then we'll sail until we're old, singing yo ho, pirate's life for me. Yo ho, yo.
And welcome back to the show. A long separation between you and I, Mr. Boggs.
Indeed.
Indeed. Busy life, busy wife. I believe that's how that goes.
Is that how it goes?
I have no clue. The music tonight is the same as always. Brave the Sea, A Pirate's Life, from a band I met in New Jersey.
Is that where we're from?
Mostly Indian, believe it or not.
Yes. Mostly middle-aged.
It depends on when you plan on to die.
Preferably, or like when feasibly, I think I will.
Let's start with preferably, and then
Tomorrow.
Okay, so midlife done, like your late life, right? From Newark, Ohio. You can check them out on Bandcamp, correct?
We are on bravetheseaband.com. That's our official website. You can look the album up on Spotify, on Apple Music, and someone told me we're on Google Music, but I could not find us.
Huh.
So I don't think we're on there yet.
So
and if we are,
definitely
we're in.
Apple, maybe Google.
Definitely Apple, definitely Spotify, maybe Google. Yeah, check us out. Facebook us too. Brave the Sea. We post memes and stupid stuff.
Yes. If you've not been to one of their shows, you need to go. Very good time. Wear a pirate hat. It is preferred. As I said last time, not enough pirates.
If you come to one of our shows, you might get hit in the face with a treasure chest pinata.
Yes, which had what in it?
Hard candy.
To make it a harder pinata.
I wanted to put gold chocolate coins in it,
yes.
But it turns out it is very hard to find those sometimes.
It is actually very hard to find. A mutual friend of ours, the 1 year...
Go on.
There you go. You're back. Go.
Okay. I was going to say, check Party City. We went to Hobby Lobby and Walmart and Kroger. Maybe we were just thinking too plain.
So a mutual friend of ours had to go get dollar gold coins. And he said, you think that would be very easy to do? Apparently it's not.
To all the Sacagawea coins?
Yeah, $200 worth at one bank. He said it was hard.
Really?
Yeah. You think that would just be, everywhere at a bank, right?
I don't think they circulated too much of them, and I don't think they still print them.
I think they're done. Us Americans really like our cotton bills.
We don't, dude, would you really want to carry around like a sack of coins?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, realistically you would?
Yes.
In a fanny pack, please.
I will take 2 ham loaves. I will pay you in gold, of course. How'd you lose all this weight? I'm rich. That's why. So tonight, by the way, you can check me out at Monty the Yank on Twitter. You can go to With a Small Package over at Podbean. So it's podbean.com/with-a-small-package. I did that completely wrong. If you're not listening to us, there's a good chance you can't find us anyways. Podbean.com.
So we still have to name this thing.
We do. We haven't done anything we promised last time, everybody.
Just things happen. So yeah, this has been a busy time of the year for me. I thought summer was always like the busiest, but good God, it's fall. Everything happens in the fall. There's all kinds of concerts.
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok dropped today, and I was going to go see it, and it sold
Wait, that's
out.
out today?
Yeah, it early release today. There were two
Oh,
showings
okay.
at the local theater, and they both sold out. And I'm probably not going to go tomorrow because it'll be a zoo. I will probably go Saturday.
Yay! Um, I will probably go eventually. We'll end up in Zanesville. What I have been watching, and this is something I didn't tell you we're going to talk about, but I hope you've watched it. Stranger Things.
Yes, I am all caught
Oh,
up. Yeah.
I'm not caught up. We
Oh,
watched all of season 1 yesterday.
you haven't seen it before that?
No,
Oh, dude.
I know.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
happy for you. That's good stuff.
Yeah, I started watching it. The wife was like, "What's this?" And then she was like, "That's stupid." And then 5 minutes later, she was sitting next to me. So if you have not checked out this show, which looking online, everybody has, very worth it, I think, personally.
Yes.
Very well acted, very well written. The one thing I will have to say is that sometimes it kind of keeps you in the dark, but then there's like plot holes because it was trying to keep you in the dark. But that's fine. I have no problem with that. Very 80s. It keeps it very 80s with throwbacks to the music, throwbacks to just how the show is presented.
The second one has a lot of throwbacks to horror movies and sci-fi movies, and you'll be like, this seems like a movie I've seen.
It is.
It is.
This seems like third close
So
encounters of the third kind.
yeah, going back to what we were talking about the naming of this podcast.
Yes.
You actually had a good name
Oh, you
at
like
one.
that?
Yes. So
I have to look it
I
up.
think
I
we.
can't remember what I texted you.
Was you hoping I was going to
Say it. Yes.
two guys in the dark?
Yeah, two guys in the dark. I like it.
I like it too.
Okay, we might go with that. I'm actually going to give a shit, and I'm going to try to do some things for this podcast, everybody. I promise. One day we'll be professional.
I think that's solid, and I think once we get established with a name, we're going to open up the floodgates for the pages, the logo, all kinds of stuff.
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 Right now it is with a small package at podbean.com. You can check me out at Twitter, Monty the Yank, and then we can check you out at Bogsimus Gaming
Bogsimus
Games.
Yeah, at Bogsimus Games on Twitter, Bogsimus_games on Instagram, Bogsimus Games on Facebook, Bogsimus Games on Tumblr, BogsimusGames.com,
On X Video.
Bogsimus Games on YouPorn. No,
Check
we
me
play
out.
we play strip D&D.
Two bears and a cub play D&D.
Accurate. That's accurate.
That's accurate. So Stranger Things, back to that real quick. Fan service galore. Sean Austin, everybody's favorite Hobbit, is in this show now.
Have you started watching season 2?
First episode. And I was like, we gotta stop.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I kept making Hobbit references the whole time. He's always going to be Samwise.
Yeah. And he's perfect in this nerdy role. I'm sad to see he's lost his physique as a fat man. I was pulling for him.
Did you? He was in that movie 50 First Dates. Remember?
Yeah. And the whole thing with the steroids.
Yeah, he was like fit in that.
Oh yeah. He's in really good shape.
Yeah, I mean, it gets to a point in your life where you're just like, I don't care. I'm gonna eat cheese.
True. I'm on the opposite, and it sounds like you are too. So I'm in the stop eating cheese stage of my life. So I'm hoping that one day I will not be. I want to be half the man I used to be. That would make me. Very happy.
I looked at I don't know what, this is a horrible idea. No one do this, but we were looking at our old MySpaces at work yesterday. and I was looking at old photos of myself from like 9-10 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, good gods, it looked like I ate the old me.
Come here, child.
Like, I am not like, it's weird because I was so skinny, and I don't look like I'm just like I don't look like I've just gained weight. I look like I've gained mass entirely. Like, I just look like a large dude. My just general physique, it looks like my bone structure grew, and my hands just became like, I got like banana fingers, and my shoe size is 13, and I don't know what's happening. It must be
I'm a big man.
the chemicals in the water.
It's got to be the water.
It's the water. I
It's
mean,
gotta be the water.
all these girls are pregnant, and I'm pregnant with growth hormones.
I am pregnant with Chipotle.
That is true. I do have actually be a chicken nugget baby.
Oh my god, I haven't had chicken nugget in a while. Let's just do a
About
food
dinosaur
podcast.
shaped chicken nuggets.
Oh yeah.
Great. The paranormal podcast is now paranormal podcast and food podcast. No.
And food. Okay, we've wasted 10 minutes
So,
of everybody's time. No, go ahead.
That's completely fine. So I was just gonna say, what do you have on the agenda for tonight?
Oh, nothing.
What are we going to discuss?
Nothing.
Great. Well, I'll talk to you next time.
Hey, we'll talk to you all, Alexa.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's all, folks.
We missed most of Halloween. Sorry. But I do have some stories about UFOs. Top 25 cities is the first thing we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about Patterson-Gimlin film. We are going to talk about a local Bigfoot haunt in Minerva, Ohio. And then I'm hoping that we get to Robert Englund, his like little interview about each movie and how he thought about it. It's not particularly interesting, but kind of talk about the retrospective of, I would call, the rise and fall of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. So not good horror franchises necessarily around anymore, I think. We'll get into that. And then the topic du jour is the experiences from your own Bogsimus. I'm stalling because I'm trying to think of the freaking place. I should have wrote it down.
Lafayette Hotel
At the
in Marietta.
Lafayette Hotel
Yep,
in Marietta.
Yep.
Yes. They have tried to do the reveal. This takes a lot of time, and they are trying to find the time to do it. So Bogsimus decided he's just going to talk about his experience, and then one day, if we get some good stuff, we're going to put it right here on the show for everybody. How's that
See,
sound?
that's the thing. Like, remember, like the first or second episode of this where I talked about how like I don't use too much equipment on investigations.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, man. Because like in post, it takes so long to. I mean, like I've explained, if there's 4 people and they each record for 4 hours,
Yeah.
that's 16 hours of recording you have to listen back to.
Mm-hmm.
However, if I record nothing, that's 0 hours of recording I have to listen back to.
I'll just tell you what I saw.
Yeah, pretty much. And I will tell you what I saw, and then I would let everybody else share their evidence. So I'm completely content with that.
Absolutely. So let's get started. Top 25 cities for UFO sightings. We're going to play a little game because this isn't very interesting. But
Okay.
it's interesting. Give me... We're going to go top 10. You start naming it. I'll say if you're right or wrong. You make 10 choices. If you get more than
Okay.
5, I'll do a shot.
Oh.
I have whiskey here. So,
Are some of them obscure?
no. Yes.
So they're major cities? Okay.
Kinda. Yeah. There's one in here that I wouldn't have guessed.
Well, there's one that I know, but I don't know if it'd be on the list.
Okay. This is based off of reported UFO sightings.
Okay.
So not necessarily, oh, it's spooky and known for.
Yeah.
This is actually reported. The first one is, I think, obvious if you think about... Sorry. Go
Let me
ahead.
guess. Let me guess.
All
Let me
right,
guess.
go.
Let me
You go.
guess.
You go. I
I'm
go.
gonna try to guess some.
All
Denver, Colorado.
Ding. That's one.
Boom.
Number
Columbus,
10 on the list.
Columbus, Ohio.
No. It is on the list at number 19.
Okay, I knew it because there's Obetz, Ohio actually gets a lot of UFO reports.
Don't know if you know
incidentally.
this. You know this. People may not. There's a lot of military things that go on around Columbus.
Yes. Okay, so I got Denver is in the top 10,
Yes.
and Columbus is number 19.
19
Okay.
is number 10. Denver is number 10.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me say Louisville, Kentucky.
No.
Okay.
Louisville is not on the list.
Interesting.
They just
Okay.
shoot at it. They don't report it.
Yeah, they're like, what in the hell is that?
Oh, I'm going to shoot at it. I'm going to throw a rock at it. Sorry, everybody from Kentucky.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville. No.
Strike 2.
Well, you got 4. You won a 4. So strike 3.
Oh yeah, we're on the top 10.
Yes. Columbus
That's
was
right.
on the list, but not.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me think. I'm trying to dig into my useless knowledge.
Think West.
Yeah, that's why Denver
Oh,
was
no. Albuquerque was on the list at 15. I'm sorry.
I didn't say Albuquerque.
Shit. Well, it's 15. Don't pick that one.
I was actually going to, but
Don't.
I
It's
wasn't.
15.
I was thinking about it, but West. Salt Lake City.
Nope.
Okay, that's strike 3.
Yeah.
All right, lay it on me.
Okay. Number 1 with 929 UFO sightings. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix Light. That makes sense. Number 2, Las Vegas. 639 reports.
See, I didn't say that because it seemed too obvious.
Yeah, I know.
Dang.
Seattle, Washington at 616. Chicago with 562. Portland at 528. Los Angeles at 525. Tucson at 480. San Diego at 477. Houston at 466. And Denver at 429. After that, you get New York City, Orlando, Springfield, Albuquerque, Miami, Philadelphia, San Antonio, Columbus with 327, Jacksonville, Sacramento, San Francisco, San Jose, Myrtle Beach, Dallas, and Kansas City. That's pretty cool. Some of those that you named I thought would be on the list, but they're not. Interesting. Do you want to go Bigfoot, or do you want to go more UFO?
Let's mix it up. Let's do
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Patterson-Gimlin film turns 50. This was as of October 20th. Wow, the image is easily synonymous with Sasquatch. Was recorded exactly 50 years ago. Real or not, cheers to you, Patty and Bob Gimlin. In here, it kind of talks about the film. All you need to know is that 50 years ago, after the Patterson-Gimlin film has never been disproven, and that is something to keep in mind. They have said there was a deathbed confession from, I believe it was Gimlin, who said it was fake. This is what we know. From Roger and Bob's perspective, you could reflect on the events in a couple of ways. Bob and Roger woke up in the morning and ready to hoax for the world. Or they woke up in the morning ready to ride into the woods for the most life-changing day of their life. Roger Patterson woke up in the morning ready to hoax the world and tricked his partner, Bob, into a historic ploy. What we don't know is no one... Let's try that again. Who knows? Roger died a long time ago, and Bob was maintained the version of the 50 years it's been around. I think everybody knows about the Patterson-Gimlin film. If you don't, it's the famous Bigfoot side shot picture.
Yeah, that's the one where they've analyzed like his physique and his gait and his walk. Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
The big push is, okay, if they did this and it was a hoax, there is reason to believe that at that time, look at your monster movies, look at what they look like, and then look at the picture of this thing. That's number one. Number two is the movement and the gait of Bigfoot in this picture. You would have to be over 7 foot tall, which neither one of those guys were. Now, could they have found a 7 foot tall man? Yes. Nobody that created this outfit has come out and said they created the outfit. Nobody in Hollywood at the time has admitted to doing this, and even had said if they did it, this is the best costume I've ever seen for that time period. This is the smoking gun per se for everybody, because again, 50 years later, it's not that people say it's real. Nobody has really disproven it. And I find that very, very interesting.
It'd be very hard to with the film quality of it.
I hit mute. Sorry about that. Yeah, I agree. It's hard because the film can be very grainy. It was shot perfect distance away. But what I've always found interesting is the one thing everybody pushes at is the foot. The foot is white. And everybody was like, it looks like almost like a slipper. But someone pointed out there, like, why would you go through the trouble to get that elaborate of a costume and not think about the feet?
That is true.
So, is it real? I don't know. Do I believe in Bigfoot? Do I believe in Bigfoot? I don't know. Do I think there's stuff out there we haven't documented? Again, it's only been a very short amount of time that we knew about gorillas, which are big mammals. So.
Can confirm I am gorilla.
Can confirm I am half gorilla.
True.
Did you hear about the cover-up in Brazil? You did earlier because we talked about it.
I'm gonna act like I haven't. No. What? Tell me.
What are they covering up? Well, some people go for operations in Brazil. No, I'm just kidding. Cover up possible as UFO landing is investigated in Brazil. Before we get too far along with the fundraising campaign in the USA, you might want to take a quick trip to Brazil to see what's going on near San Pablo. Have you been? No?
Have I been to San Pablo?
Yeah.
No.
Perfect. Me neither. The UFO landing in early October that seems to have been covered up by the Brazilian media until now. Santos e Regalo is blaring the headlines. Residents report alleged landing of flying saucer on the coast of San Pablo, and reports that residents of a coastal city west of Santos and southwest of San Pablo allegedly saw a bright light around the dawn of October 7th and found vegetation smashed to the ground as a large craft landed on it. The impression measured 13 by 2 meters, or 42.6 by 3.6 feet, was not an elaborate geometric design like the crop circles, or in this case, rectangle, but was nonetheless condoned off immediately by local officials, according to, I can't say that word, that would hamper the work of the researchers. They have some pictures here, super interesting, but could easily be crop circle. Someone out there just doing it. If you want, go ahead.
Send them over. Send them over to me. I want to look at them.
All right, I'll send you the picture. The picture. I can't send just a picture, but you're getting the link. So tell me what you think. They noted the electricity went out in the neighborhood at the time of the sighting, and those living close to the landing site reported nausea and malaise. The city was justified in keeping out. I don't know what that word is. I ain't gonna try. When the landing was.
That freaking cover photo is hysterical.
Do you like it?
Oh my god!
Well, that's the actual selfie taken
Uh-huh.
on the day of the event.
Oh my god.
There is a UFO that kind of looks like the Millennium Falcon.
Yep, like a burnt Millennium Falcon.
In the desert with two gray style aliens that kind of look like they have pecs and some abs and a front bump.
A front bump.
I don't know how to explain it. What do you think? What's that picture look like to you?
The crappy one or the real one?
Yes, the real one.
Let me scroll down because I was stuck on that stupid.
You're like,
All right, so
They got a couple pictures on there.
yeah.
So it says, not clear if the latest landing is at or near one of these points. They talk about the point up here, which is, there's been many sightings around this area. They got like a picture of the map with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sightings on it. So they said is at or near one of these points. They're not quite sure yet, nor is it clear why it was not revealed for 10 days. Officials seem committed to investigate and promote UFO sightings and alien encounters with the intent to make the city a center of what they call UFO tourism. See, there you go.
It's man, the thing with like crop circles and crop things like that is it's so you get two sticks and you put a rope in between each of them.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do that. Like there's no burn marks or indentations in the ground from like the landing gear. I don't know, man. It's
the one thing I give them credit for here though is that they didn't do a perfect thing.
Yeah.
It would look like if something landed there. But I don't know if I believe it. Maybe. Who knows? Back to UFOs. You want to talk a little Dr. Phil? Of course you do.
As long as it's not Cash Me Outside.
They met with the Cash Me Outside girl who reports that she saw it. TV talk show host Dr. Phil apparently has a doozy on his show a few days ago. This was October 12th from highstrangenessufo.com. What was this? I don't know what that was. Sorry, I have a ghost in the house, apparently. Actress Jane Broberg claims that...
Hey, before you go on, remind me here in a bit to tell you about the spirit I think I have in my house.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you just want to talk about now? I don't care about Dr. Phil.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I honestly don't care about Dr. Phil either. So Amanda loves cats. I'm gonna preface this with that. My girlfriend loves cats.
She does love cats.
And we have these two cats that one of them was like in a storm drain and the other one was like someone dumped it by a barn. So we have these two cats that aren't really ours that we need to find homes for. And we've been watching them until we find them a home, and we keep them during the day. We keep them in this extra room that we have because like the one of them's just a hellion. I tell you what, man, it'll take off running and climb the curtains and try to get on top of the curtain rod. And the other one just doesn't like other cats too well, except that it tolerates the crazy one. So that's why we kind of keep them together. But anyway, they stay in that extra room. Well, when we're gone, we both work during the day. When they're in there all day. So when we come home, she'll let them out, and they don't want to be in there. They've been in there all day. So she'll let them out. They'll run downstairs, and she keeps the door open. Well, one day she did that, and she was doing something, and she's like, "Oh, I wonder where those cats are." And she's looking around downstairs, and she's like, "Well, I don't know why they'd run upstairs. They've been up there all day." Goes upstairs. They were both in that room with the door completely shut. Whoa. And she's like, okay, that doesn't make sense, but they could have possibly ran up there and somehow shut that door full force. So anyway, she didn't think anything of it. Then it happened again, like a few weeks later, And she's like, okay, maybe they wanted back up in that room for some reason. Then it happened again. So she thought maybe they were just like, closing the door. Well, then she recalled one day when I wasn't here, the computer room I'm in now, when you open the door to it, the door will get to a certain point and then drag on the carpet because it's an old house. The floors are uneven.
Yeah.
Door drags on the carpet, and then it gets to a point to where like it just completely stops and it's stuck on the carpet. And when you got to close it, you got to like kind of just give it a nice pull.
Yeah.
So she opened it up all the way. It drug on the carpet. She came in here, was doing something, and then it slammed shut on her. And she was just like, I don't understand how that could happen.
Yeah.
Because you have to pull it full force to shut it. So she also said there was one day where she was upstairs in bed watching TV, and she thought I came home from work because she heard like the downstairs door close, and she heard like another door upstairs close. So apparently we have something in our house that likes to close doors.
Or the cat is super strong, or the cat has telekinesis.
Yes, or the cat somehow has thumbs to grab a door and shut it, or run into it with its butt.
Yeah. Without being around and being shut in the face of your wife.
Pretty much.
Well, not wife yet, right?
Fiance.
Might as well be wife. Hey, can I marry you guys?
Sure.
I'm ordained.
No, great.
Yeah.
Her sister just got married.
There you go. Should have just did it then. Be like, yeah, us too. Ditto.
Yeah, just
Wouldn't that be messed up?
just a line item wedding. Like, next, married.
Where's Elvis?
Next, married.
Married. Do you promise? Well, you're married.
Take my hand. Only fools rush in. Thank you very much. You're married. Get out of here. Next.
Thank you very much. Next. Elvis sighting? No. There has been a Bigfoot encounter near Minerva, Ohio. Is the monster back? From phantomsandmonsters.com.
Is the monster back?
Not until 12. He's on break. I don't know where that came from. I recently received the following account. Hello, I was driving home from Canton, Ohio, along Route 30 near Minerva. This was Monday, October 2nd, and it was around 9:45 p.m. I was heading west out of Minerva, about a mile or so. A salvage yard and woods to the right. And as I passed it, something huge jumped out onto the road about 10 car lengths in front of my car. When I say huge, I mean big. And when I say big, I mean huge. It was big enough to scare the crap out of me. And it was definitely a Bigfoot. Definitely. And had to be 8 to 9 feet in height. That's pretty tall for a Bigfoot even. Because Bigfoot is anywhere from, like, reported, 7? 7 foot, give or take? It was massive. I got a good look at it and with my headlights, and am still shocked at how big it was. The hair was glossy, like dark brown. It didn't look at me and look straight ahead. It ran into the field on the other side, and I believe it crossed the road in 2 strides. I was moving like it was being chased. I slowly drove after it, past in Kate. I don't know what they said right there. Anyways, my brother and I went back the next Thursday looking for during daylight to see if there was any evidence like footprints. There was nothing in the dirt and the shoulder of the road, but there was a lot of mud on the roadway. So there you go. Minerva may not have a Bigfoot, and it's a tall one.
He's a big guy.
I find a Bigfoot is pretty big. Now, my Bigfoot in my head is somewhat, like 5'2", just big feet.
I don't know, man. So, like, I'm gonna get real nerdy here. So, in Dungeons and Dragons, you aren't considered a large creature until you're around 9 feet tall.
Really?
Yep.
Are you a large creature?
Heck no, I'm 6 foot.
You're 6 foot?
Yeah.
In the game?
Oh, in the game?
Yeah.
No, one of my characters is 7'8".
Damn.
Yeah, 7'8", 375 out of his armor.
Damn. How much does
Yeah.
armor give him?
It puts him up to 410 with his gear.
Jesus.
Yeah, 410 pounds. He's got a 20 strength score, so think of like a power lifter.
See, I'm like I'm over encumbered just thinking about that.
Did you? Speaking of that, did you see the video of the dude doing leg presses that like fully extends his legs and locks his knee, and he has so much weight on it, it bends his knee back,
Yeah.
and then the cart comes down and like almost bends his knee. Like it's awful.
No.
Yeah.
I did not see that.
The whole caption is like, "This is why you don't lock your knees."
Never, ever lock your knees, ever.
Yes, it's bad.
Even if you're not lifting anything, you will faint. So,
That is
lock your
true.
knees.
That's true.
Creeps on Parade. This is a good one. You ready?
Oh God, lay it on me.
You've probably heard this one. Samantha, the intelligent sex doll, suffered a number of indignities at the Ars Electronica Festival in Linz, Austria, in early September. Sergi Santos of Barcelona, Spain, who developed Samantha, said men at the show acted like barbarians. 2 fingers were broken. She was heavily soiled. Samantha, who talks, is also programmed to react when someone touches her. Santos told Metro News that Samantha would have to undergo repairs and cleaning, but she can endure a lot, and she will pull through.
Oh my God. Did you see that they gave citizenship to an AI?
No.
It's another country. There's an AI robot they gave citizenship to.
What country?
I can't remember. It's an AI robot with
It's gotta
like
be
a.
Japan.
No, it's actually not. I think
Really?
it's like a Middle Eastern country.
Hmm.
Which makes sense because they are like some of those Middle Eastern countries are way ahead of us in the technology spectrum. Like, have you looked
Yeah.
up their internet speeds?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the U.S. is throttled down. We have very slow internet.
Welcome to capitalism.
Yeah,
It's about to be slower.
really.
Well, you've got the FCC trying to end net neutrality.
That's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
It doesn't
But
like
my money. You guys taking my money.
they're making
Sorry,
no-
this is now a political podcast.
Well, this affects everybody. If they're listening to this,
does.
they're streaming it. So this affects you. So if you guys listening see those FCC petitions going around, like
sign.
to end the Net Neutrality Act that's coming out, like they're keep trying to push, sign them. Keep the internet neutral. It
Yes.
is not to be. It is not to be throttled down. It's
Well-
supposed to be. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was pretty much done.
Okay. The whole point of that too is it can turn into a television issue where, oh, you want YouTube? That's part of this package.
Yeah, there's another country. My
I think it's Russia does that.
I think it's a smaller country. My Cubemate at work showed me it's the internet package of this country because they don't have a net neutrality law.
Yeah.
And it's stupid.
So
it's
for
like
$29.99 a month,
Yeah,
you get this.
it's like $29.99. Here's your base package. Add $10, you get these streamers package. You'll get these.
Yeah.
Add $10, you'll get the social media package, which is these.
You want to get to Netflix? Oh, it costs this much. Sorry.
Yep. Now you're gonna pay for Netflix just to stream it, and then you'll pay Netflix for their service, and it's dumb. And I think bigger companies like Netflix should be fighting heavily against that. Like all these other companies should be just fighting that. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid. It's
Absolutely
stupid.
stupid. As stupid as this man in Preston, Lancashire, England. Doctors thought a 47-year-old postman who had a persistent cough might have cancer, as it was a long-term smoker, or he was, not it was. He was a long-term smoker, and when X-rays showed a spot on his lung. But when they removed the mass, the BBC reported they found a long-lost Playmobil traffic cone. The patient had received as a gift on his 7th birthday. He told doctors that he had regularly swallowed the small pieces as a child and believed he had inhaled the tiny cone.
Oh my god.
Happy ending of the story, though, as the toy was removed and the man's cough disappeared almost immediately. It's so stupid. It's just so stupid. I hear a cough. Did you swallow a cone?
I think I did. Oh.
Trying to install.
Oh my god.
That's all the stories I have.
How did he swallow it and it get into his... Never mind. Oh man.
His little hangy thing didn't... I mean, that's a big piece to go down into your lung.
That's what I'm thinking. Man, that had to suck. How old was he how old is he now?
7.
And then how old is he now?
47. 40
Great.
years that's in his lung.
40 years of a traffic cone toy in his lung.
They found a Lego man, as well as he was just sending people in there to save it. Small ladder. Batman.
It's ridiculous.
That's stupid. We've all swallowed something stupid. Now, in fairness, I will wrap myself out. I had to go to the emergency room. Now, in fairness, I was 3. Because I put popcorn kernels up my nose.
Really?
Yeah.
Get him
my
up
mom,
real...
Yeah. Apparently, my mom got them out twice. She gave me popcorn. I was sitting there eating. And all of a sudden, I'm going... like that. She looks up my nose. There's popcorn kernel. Pulls it out. No big deal. 5 minutes later, I'm doing it again. I put it so far up my nose, she couldn't get it, so we went to the emergency room.
Oh my god. I would have just, not gave you popcorn after that.
Well, he's not stupid enough to do it again.
Nope, he did it again.
I'm doing a snooter! So, far enough it stayed in, not far enough it came out. So, there you go.
All right.
Sorry, everybody. Roll recall. Are you ready? Robert Englund on making Nightmare Come True in 8 Elm Street movies. This is a retrospective. You know and have seen Nightmare on Elm Street, correct?
Yes.
Have you watched all of them?
No.
Which ones have you watched?
The first few, and then after that, they just got too campy.
Yeah, true. Okay, so we're going to kind of go through these, talk about what we remember, and if it was creepy. And then we did no show prep, so we'll just go from there. How's that sound?
Sure.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so Robert Englund recaps his time on each movie. So, Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 1984. Englund admits that at first he wasn't sure that Wes Craven directed movie was the right career move for him, and he didn't fully know how he would portray Freddy's sinister motives. Then one day he was sitting in the makeup with the young co-star Heather Langenkamp and Johnny Depp. I don't know if you know him. Not a well-known actor.
Yeah, not at all.
No, I don't need anything you're about to ask me for. He may have been in a couple movies after this. I don't remember. So he entered the room for minor touch-ups. I remember being very envious of Johnny and Heather. They're very beautiful. They're youthful. And they had their whole careers ahead of them. And he says, I thought, hey, I can use that. That's the trick I can use for Freddy. So basically, he used the inspiration of resenting the people he was going to try to kill. The nice thing about the first Nightmare on Elm Street is I think it had enough humor involved in it, but every kill is creepy in that movie. The bed scene with Johnny Depp, where basically the bed eats him, is very creepy, as you hear my dog drinking the rest of the water out in the other room. It's probably, I'm with you. I'm more of a Friday the 13th guy. Chucky.
I just, there are a handful of horror movies that, like, I think are actually good. Most of them I think are just either gore porn or they're too campy.
And I hate gore porn. I do like campy. I
like campiness when it's campy on purpose to be funny, like Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness.
Yeah. I think Nightmare got to that point.
That's why I only like the first few. I mean, the first one's like, I don't know, man. Like the first one's like the best one of that series. I like Freddy versus Jason for what it is.
I thought it was pretty good.
It's a fun movie. Like it's two Hollywood monsters fighting. It's got its own campiness to it. It's just a good, solid movie.
Probably the best versus movie.
Yes.
Because what you got, Wolfman and Frankenstein, they barely fight. You got Godzilla versus King Kong. They barely fight. Did you hear the original ending for that movie, though, they wanted to do?
For Godzilla versus King Kong?
No,
Freddy?
Freddy versus Jason. The idea was they would kill each other, and they would end up in hell, and Hellraiser would be there.
Huh.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
See, Hellraiser, the first movie's sweet.
Yeah, first movie's awesome.
The other ones just got stupid. Like, there's the one with, like, the CDs in his face. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
So we get to... No, go ahead. What?
No, that's my... Yeah, that's my thoughts.
A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Internet rumors about this was that he was not going to come back to portray Freddy Krueger, which if they did that, they were not making another movie. He is the reason those movies were popular.
Yeah, agree.
But they said he held out for money. He said that's simply not true. They doubled somebody in shower sequences, and there was some still photography on set that showed the double. So they thought that he wasn't going to be in it. They do talk about the homoerotic undertones. The part where the main character, ends up at basically a gay bar.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that scene?
Yes.
He said that he thought it was done on purpose to kind of talk about people having homoerotic dreams. I don't know if that's true or not. I wouldn't put it past Wes Craven to do something like that. The second one, actually, for me, is probably my favorite.
Really?
Well, because the second one, it's creepy the whole time. And Freddy's not back. And it's all about Freddy getting out. And the build up to the final I killed everybody scene is awesome, I think. It's probably my favorite, honestly.
So ultimately, are they talking about remaking that franchise?
It's gonna happen. They kind of did remake it. Because we forget that they made Friday the 13th again. Like, what, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
And it wasn't very good.
No.
The Jason remake I thought was good, but the fact that they tried to keep it so PG for a movie that is a slasher film doesn't make any sense to me.
That's a stupid move.
Yes. Dream Warriors I did not like. It was all about what it had Lawrence Fishburne, by the way, in it, which is weird, but Patricia Arnett. And
yes, I hated that one.
This
Dude,
one is not good.
Hated that.
The only thing I like about that one is, I think it's that one or it's Dream Master. The guy ends up in a video game and
Yeah.
he uses the power glove
Oh my god.
to kill them. That's the fun part. That movie, you can watch it, but it's not scary, it's not creepy, and it's kind of dumb. So, but it's not boring per se. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think number 3 was pretty good. No, take that back. Number 3 was not very good. If you want a good laugh with some people, it's decent. The Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Master. Freddy Mania was in full effect by this point. It hit theaters August of 1988. The series had become a culture phenomenon. It really had. Spawned spin-off merchandise, obviously. Part 4 would become the highest grossing horror film of the decade, which is no longer true. Well, no, it made it through the whole decade. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. I was thinking the 90s had something, but it's 88. And England says that the best work he had done as Krueger, which I kind of agree with. It's not my favorite film, he says, in the franchise, but certainly my favorite performance. I don't remember much about 4.
I don't either. That shows you something.
Yeah.
Huh.
We get to 5, which I ain't going to talk about because I don't remember. But I do remember Freddy's Dead. Do you remember that? Did you watch Freddy's Dead?
No.
It is so worth the watch, I'm telling you.
Really?
It is. It's not great, but just to get to the ending, and the ending, okay, so this is 1990. I'm not even going to say anything till we get to it. This is in 1991. Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare. The final nightmare. They were going to end the franchise. The actor says that the hearing-impaired character Carlos, which he kills by attaching his hearing aid to his head, turns it all the way up, and then he starts scratching a chalkboard to kill him. Which is amazing. But in the end, he gets offed. He's dead. And then he is basically sent to hell. Okay?
Okay.
So this plays right into... Well, let's talk about this one. Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which I watched recently. I do like this film. Have you watched The New Nightmare?
No.
The New Nightmare is worth watching. It's on Netflix. The New Nightmare is very fun because it is self-aware. The whole part is Freddy franchise, the Nightmare on Elm Street, is real. It's a film. And Freddy, the real deity, demon, whatever you want to call him, is trying to come out. So he's using the franchise as a way to manifest his evil. And then he comes out. And the whole point is Wes Craven, who plays himself, is writing a new movie for Nancy, who is the original character, to play to kill Freddy.
Huh.
And she has to play along in the real world because he is writing what is actually happening in real life.
It's
weird.
Stranger. It's like Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah. So, so what's really cool about it is like there's a scene where she's talking to him and she goes, "Do you have the film done yet? Like the script?" And he goes, "No, but I'm working on it." And she goes, "Where are you at?" And he goes, "Well, basically right here." And it shows the written dialogue of what just happened in that scene. So, very, very good movie. Okay, not a very good movie, but a very good watch, worth watching. Now, we get to Jason Goes to Hell. Jason Goes to Hell, what happens at the end of that? Do you remember?
No.
He gets killed. The mask is laying in the ground, and Freddy's hand comes out of the ground, grabs the mask, and pulls it in. That was in 92, 93.
Huh.
You don't get Freddy versus Jason until 2003.
So like over about 10 years later.
roughly. Yeah, it was about
So
10
then
years to do.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, because they kept getting like locked up in legal battles of making it happen. Because at one point they owned both franchise, Miramax, and
Huh.
I forget what the other brand was, and then they didn't. And it was a fight to get both of them together. So Freddy versus Jason, that was the last time England has ever been Freddy. He clashes with Jason Voorhees in a much
Mhm.
anticipated monster mashup. He says it was nothing bittersweet about the last day on set in Canada, as a character he had become so famous for. The last day, I was dog meat. I was whipped. I was beaten. I was quite happy to take the makeup off for the last time. So, if you have not seen it, I think Freddy vs. Jason is a very, very worthwhile film.
Yeah, I really like it.
It's enjoyable. I have it on DVD somewhere in this house. And if you ever get a chance, if I had to go, Freddy, you must watch. Number one, you have to watch.
Yep.
Personally, to me,
Two.
number two, watch.
And Freddy vs. Jason.
And I'll be honest with you,
Don't you say
New
it.
Nightmare, and then Freddy vs. Jason.
Uh,
And then Debbie Does Dallas. And don't watch the remake. I don't like it. Not Debbie Does Dallas remake.
That's where I
the,
thought you were talking.
no. The remake is terrible.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. So let's get to the topic.
Yes.
Mr. Bongsimus, please walk me through your experience at the Lafayette Hotel in Marietta, Ohio.
Oh, geez. Let's see if I can remember it. Um,
It was years ago.
it was like in August, man. I can't believe it's taken. I was been like waiting to do the evidence reveal and shit. Like
Since we've started this podcast.
right, I'm telling you, dude, it's ridiculous. Uh, so Lafayette Hotel is a very interesting place. It's got a very rich and diverse history. It's right on the river, so the old steamboats used to stop there, have a lot of guests there. It was actually uh current hotel was built on top of an old hotel that actually burnt down. So the basement in the Lafayette Hotel is the original basement from the hotel that came before it. Um, if you go into the Lafayette Hotel into the main foyer area, you'll see up on one of there's like a wood pole like against the wall, and you'll see up on it there's a little metal plaque that shows you how high the water got there during flooding at one time, and it's like 15 feet. It's crazy. I can't believe it was the whole town was underwater essentially. It's insane, but
Wow.
anyway, so the group Columbus researcher or just Columbus RIP, that's our name. We it's a newer group. We went there and this was our first investigation, and it's an active hotel, meaning that there are guests staying there. So we had to like be very quiet in certain areas, and we didn't have access to like rooms and stuff. We had access to one room. Um, so we set up our base camp in the basement. We have a bunch of equipment, like we have walkie talkies, and we have a camera system that has like 6 cameras, I think. Maybe it's 4. We have like 4 or 6 cameras that have 300-foot cables each of them, so we can run them pretty far. So we started setting up, and then we got told that we weren't allowed to run cameras through the premises upstairs because there are guests, in fact, staying there, and it was a liability. So unfortunately, we had to run all the cameras in the basement. So the night starts out pretty uneventful. Like we're up and we're investigating the ballroom, and uh, I look I saw from what looked like someone had opened one of the doors in the ballroom, and I saw like a shadow walk by it. So we go back there. There was nobody back there. Could have been a member of the kitchen staff, but like I didn't hear the kitchen door open. Like it was, I don't know. It's hard to say because I think a lot of the evidence that we'll find is contaminated from the amount of people and stuff that was there because it's a in use hotel.
Is this the first time that you've done a place where there's like other people there?
Um, I've been on investigations where there are other groups, like other investigators,
Yeah.
but this is the first time we've done one with like the general public. Like, actually, no. Let's see, in Outlaw Paranormal, we actually did an investigation at the Landell's Castle,
Yes.
and that was in use. So we could not go into the hotel. It was actually an outdoor investigation,
So
and there
when
was
you're investigating something like that, how do you kind of differentiate, like you said, contaminated information? So how do you make it so you're like, okay, I heard this, but what was going on during that time? How do you go about doing that?
That's why I don't trust a lot of the audio that will, because I mean it's some of these recorders that you use are very sensitive. I mean some of them, if you're in the right conditions, can pick up your heartbeat. So um, if if that's why I don't want to use the recordings half the time because you'll never know. But like if you're at a place that has residents and guests, I would say be very light on audio usage because you can't really trust it, and always debunk what you hear. Always try to debunk it. So if you get up and check it out. Do not assume.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, yeah, so we're in the basement, and we got told that so the place is actively haunted. There's been a bunch of guests that have seen spirits and stuff, but we were told by the one of the employees there that gave us the tour that it seems like a new entity has shown up there, and they call him the Smiling Man. He's been seen ominously in corners, just like with a menacing smile, which is very freaking creepy to me. It reminds me of that drawing of Idrid Cold from the Mothman prophecies.
And that's
Um,
pretty close to that area.
yeah. So we were told that this entity liked to reside in the basement. So, and you get like a malicious tone to it, like feelings. It would affect you in certain ways. I would play tricks on you. Um, one of our group members actually like started feeling physically drained, like to the point to where he didn't think he was going to be able to continue standing.
Oh goodness.
It was just kind of affecting him. We had an Ovilus, and we were like trying to communicate with the Ovilus, and this thing was saying some like it was like actually like it was answering me. If other people tried to use the Ovilus, it would either give like really dumb responses that didn't make sense, or it just wouldn't respond. And everybody caught on that this thing was like talking to me, so they had me holding the Ovilus most of the night. And I could like ask a question, and it would like immediately answer.
So what kind
And
of questions were you asking?
I was like giving it like so I gotta try to remember because it was freaking it was like
Like
months
7 years ago,
ago. Yeah, 4 score and 7 years ago. I was asking like in what time period did it live, or what time of day it was now, what its intent was, where it's been staying, uh, just stuff like that, and it would give me general answers like. I think one point I asked it something and it said it was hungry. And it kept saying famine. Like I kept asking it like what kind of feelings and stuff it was experiencing or what it thought, and it just said famine. So whatever we were talking to was essentially like hungry. Hungry for what? I don't know. I didn't get the answer out of it, but like I imagine if like let's say I suddenly died and was a spirit, I'd be pretty upset that I couldn't eat anymore because I freaking love eating.
be like,
So
I need pizza.
Yeah, so I'd be like, famine, pizza.
So what time period did it say?
It didn't. It just, if I recall, these will be on the recordings
Yeah.
because we were audio recording that, so we can get the questions and responses. But if I recall correctly, it is. I think we pinpointed it down to the 1800s. I think it made a
Okay.
reference to that.
Okay.
Um, it didn't just flat out say like 1800s, but like some of the old timey answers it was giving.
It just
That's
kept
why,
saying no pizza, no pizza,
yeah,
and you're like, well,
no
when was there
pizza.
not pizza in Ohio?
So like I can't really divulge like too much like in depth things that happened because
Yeah,
I frankly my memory just escapes me about it. But hopefully one day we'll have an evidence reveal and I can
it's gonna happen.
jot down some of the stuff and bring it to the table. But our the founder of our group actually was affected to the point to where he was feeling drained and uh he was kind of he seemed like he was out of it. Like he seemed very disoriented, and I had to like help him walk back to the base camp and sit him down, and he had to sit there for quite a while to like regather himself. And like it felt heavy in certain areas of that basement, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
you could hit a certain point of the hallway, and it would feel like you were 10 stories underground and there was like pressure on your ears. And even like Amanda, who like doesn't really, I think she's like the, when you try to touch two same ends of a magnet, they repulse each other. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's like how Amanda is with paranormal stuff. She like repulses most of it. Like there's something about it. It's just like, get away from me. But she said she even started feeling like that electrical sensation
Hmm.
that's usually comes is associated with spirits. And um, she said she even would feel like that malicious intent feeling or the heaviness. So for her to say something like that, that's just kind of like when you're like, oh, there's something here. Amanda's feeling it. It's affecting her.
Yeah.
But
And what's interesting about that is that is reported around from everybody. Is there are some people out there that they are very sensitive,
yeah,
so to speak, where they feel things, they experience things, and there's other people that be like, well, I didn't see that, I didn't feel that, and so Amanda is in both of these groups, correct?
yes.
And she's probably the most skeptical, just because of
She,
her experiences are probably not as robust as everybody
she
else's.
That's correct. She believes there's like paranormal happenings and stuff, but most of the time she tries to debunk it and come up with a rational explanation because like she either isn't experiencing it to the same degree as everybody else, or simply she thinks other people are overreacting. But like there are times where she's just like, "Yeah, this is happening. I feel it. I hear it. I can see it." Stuff like that. So if we're ever on an investigation and Amanda starts saying something's going on.
Yeah, get your cameras out.
Get your cameras out, get your recorders out, take your clothes off. I mean, no, keep your clothes on.
Get naked. We're gonna experience something.
But yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, I know that the sound like as good as like I was building it up to me be, but like the 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 call and response, like me asking it questions and it answering, that was pretty ridiculous. And our group leader getting drained, and I had to like walk him back to the base camp. That was pretty interesting too. But
About
yeah.
4 hours, 8 hours. How long was this?
Uh, 5 or 6 hours, I
Five or
believe
six
that one
hours. Okay.
was.
Now, did you guys stay?
No, we had the option to stay there. The group leader and his wife stayed there, but we powered through and drove home. So
Yeah.
about 2 hour drive wasn't that bad. It was really foggy. Like it was real. There was points where the fog was so thick you could barely see on the way back. So
Oh goodness.
yeah, very interesting.
Are you ever scared about that when you leave that something comes with you? Do you guys do something to kind of ward away things that may
Um,
follow?
we have like sage that will burn throughout the house, and we have this stuff called liquid smudge. Something with cedar, like if you put
Hmm.
cedar chips or spray cedar extract like on your shoes, it's supposed to essentially like air quotes ground you.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, we that's a worry, but like if something really wants to freaking come home with you, you can't really stop it.
Yeah. Very true. Are so the question for Columbus RIP is when is the next investigation or your
We
next investigation?
Columbus RIP actually has an event schedule, or tentatively for December 9th at the Bel Air House in Ohio.
Okay, where's the Bello Air House
Oh,
exactly in Ohio?
let me look that up because
I'm just going
Bel Air
along for
House.
the ride.
Pretty much, I like to go into these things like completely blind about. Bel
Well,
Air
it's
House is
better
in
that
Bel
way.
Air.
Oh, there you go, Bello or blah blah Ohio.
Yeah, Bel
Bel
Air
Air,
House is in
Ohio.
Bel Air. It's right by the West Virginia border, right on the
Okay,
Ohio River.
so
If you
the
if you notice,
Fresh
there's like a
Prince in Bel Air.
pretty much. If you notice, there's a recurring theme of these being on the river, and that is a who's on a van down by the river.
In a van down by the river.
That is a constant theory that like water or water sources can attract like paranormal things, like
Well,
it channels them.
water and limestone, which is pretty abundant in Ohio.
Like a rhinestone cowboy.
Get some limestone cowboy.
But yeah, December 9th,
December 9th.
Columbus RIP, going to Bel Air House. Should be 6 or 8 of us going there.
Perfect. Okay, so one day we will have hopefully some audio from this, especially even if anything else. I would love to hear the stuff where you're getting some response.
I can eventually play you some audio from the Adamsville Victory experience.
Yeah. I think we could take I haven't watched it yet. I'm sorry, but the reveal that you guys
Yes.
had at Outcast,
Yes.
I think that would be worth kind of listening to, kind of putting out there little chunks, giving people an idea of what you have experienced.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd be down for that.
And I'm hoping we can get some of your other co-workers on the show.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Have some guests.
Yeah, absolutely. So, happy Halloween, belated to everybody. We will be back, I swear to God. Also, on this pod, we're hoping to have a couple other things. Hockey season's kicked in. I'd love to talk about that with one of my buddies. We're hoping to
Hey, dude.
actually get back to wrestling.
Hey, I will be right back real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're trying to get a little bit of everything out there. The paranormal podcast everybody's listening to has been our go-to because A, I have time and very interested, and B, Bogsimus has time to kind of sit down and talk. Next week or the next few weeks, I'm hoping to get back, have some more ghost stories. If you have any ghost stories out there, please send them to me here at Monty the Yank at gmail.com. You can also send it to the Facebook to Columbus RAP if you want to check that out. Right to Bogsimus Games. Or you can tweet it to me through a direct message on Monty the Yank on Twitter. So we would love to hear your ghost stories. I want to get back into that. I find those very creepy, and I enjoy turning out the lights and kind of playing those for people. So if you have them and you're listening, please, even if you think it's not that scary or creepy, I would love to hear any kind of paranormal experiences that you may have. So not even ghost stories. It could be anything. UFO sightings, just cryptic monster, whatever it may be. So I'm hoping that we get some of those, we can get them on the show. So when we're on next, we'll have some ghost stories. We'll have some more stories of the weird, and Bogsimus may or may not have some audio for us. So I am still stalling. Are you back?
I am back.
Yay! So, anything else to add?
No, I think I think getting the audio of the Sedumsville experience would be good. Give
Yeah.
people something to listen to. And
Yeah, anything you can get a
I
hold of,
will,
and send it our way.
I will forewarn everybody, it gets pretty explicit. So
And we've done a good job of not cussing on this show. Better every week. This week, 0 cuss words, I think.
no, we've cussed a little bit.
No.
A little bit.
No.
A little bit.
No, I'm going to listen to it back.
We have.
No cuss words. None. We did well. So, next week or 2 weeks from now, we will be back. I'm hoping next week because since there's no other podcast going, I need to get back in the routine. Maybe give us a little incentive to have a name, have a website, have a Facebook page, have love in all the right places. Yeah. So, until next time, I am Monty the Yank, and with me, as always, Bongsimus, and we will talk to you all later.
See you guys.